Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mace. I'm coming to you from small town Canada. I'm on the west coast, British Columbia, and yeah, I'm probably not going down to the States anytime soon. No. It's too much right now. Apparently, like, border agents want to look at your phone, potentially. I know for the vast majority of people, you can still travel to the States. Canadians, we're pretty privileged. We have pretty good passports. I don't think, customs and enforcement or the American Border Patrol would be too worried about, people like me per se. But that said, we don't really have any interest in supporting the American economy, considering the stances and conduct of their president right now. So let's get to this. Let's see what the Brits are going to say. I have a sneaking suspicion they're gonna say, not a chance in hell I'm going to America, man. Come to Canada, though. Any Brits watching, come to Canada. We'd love to have you. All right, let's check it out.
You can't be going into that active war zone and think it's going to be peachy keen because you're a tourist.
I'd go for the World Cup. Like, if I got tickets, yeah, I would.
The biggest, the most powerful country in the Western world, America has a certain responsibility to behave the right way and do the right things.
Have no rights, there's no laws to protect you.
I just love abortion and immigrants and everyone that's nice, so yeah, I'm not going there.
It's even stuff like with the World Cup going on. It just looks like you're giving good PR to a nation that really doesn't deserve it, and he's actively working against it, people.
With what's currently going on in America, would you...
It's why, like, when you really look at it, Russia being barred from the Olympics when the US has been doing some shady stuff for a long time, and lately too.
Still go there on holiday?
No. I have some really good friends who are American, and I think America is a great place. At the minute, I'm not sure I'd feel terribly safe. Going to America would probably be my biggest concern. And I think as the biggest, the most powerful country in the Western world, America has a certain responsibility to behave the right way and do the right things. And I'm not sure that's the case at the minute.
And that's the thing. There's obviously tens upon millions of amazing Americans, but there just happens to be a huge percentage of seemingly fascist supporting Americans as well. So yeah, there's that.
In New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't go back, you'll get detained. You're Misk Brown. They'll never let you back.
Beige.
They will just take the tiniest grain of difference and then exploit it and send you to freaking Venezuela. Like, you're not, it's so
and also,
risky.
I love America and I want to go back. So if I get deported, that's it. You cannot, I didn't realize this, but if you get deported, that's it. You cannot return ever.
No chance. No chance. I mean, like, whenever I go on holiday, it's always like...
It's just immediate, eh? Like, most people's just, their immediate answer is no. There isn't even, like, a thought about it. It's just immediately no, we're not going. And so far, all of these people kind of have different reasons, different levels of hyperbole and kind of how bad it might be when they go to the States. That girl said, they might detain you and send you to Venezuela. I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, just in my view as a Canadian, why would we support them right now? Why would we want to go there and spend our hard-earned money and invest it and put it into the American economy, right? If we're going down there for a concert, going down there just to see the sights, see all the amazing places that they have down there. And they're a hospitable country too. But, when the president is talking about annexing Canada, you have lots of ultra-nationalistic, ultra-military obsessed, fascist-leaning Americans saying, we're gonna invade you, and you guys can. There's nothing you can do about it, bro. We're gonna invade you, stupid Canadians. What are you guys gonna do? We'll invade you in 1 second. And yeah, why would we want to go down there?
The cheapest Ryanair flight, a hostel of like 12 beds or whatever, just so I can make it as cheap as possible. So if I'm paying £1,000 to go over to a country that wants to look through all like my social media, everything about me, and then I don't know, I might end up getting shot as well. It just doesn't seem that appealing to me.
I'd pretty much say the same. Even though obviously it's not like every single place you're going to step you're going to get shot in the head, but it's even stuff like with the World Cup going on. It just looks like you're giving good PR to a nation that really doesn't deserve it, and he's actively working against it, the people. So, yeah, no, I would not go right now.
Fucking no. You couldn't fucking pay me to go there. No, it's an absolute shit tip. My family are getting married in Pennsylvania and I refuse to go in the summer.
Really? Is it just because of the dangers or?
No, I just don't. I just love abortion and immigrants and everyone. That's nice. So yeah, I'm not going there.
No, I wasn't even before all this happened. I still was very much, no, I'm not going to America ever. Ever. I generally don't like America for whatever reason. I don't know why.
It's like the most British thing you could say, isn't it?
I just don't like America with its like aggressiveness. Like, even though I know not a lot of America is very like aggressive.
I think the self-centeredness and really, really selfish type of attitudes can be a bit much. And of course, like I said, that's not all Americans. That's not all Americans at all. But there's certainly a me that is kind of a necessity of the American dream, as they put it, right? Getting into the rat race. Maybe one day you can be a millionaire. Maybe one day you can be a billionaire and exploit scores of employees and extract their wealth while really contributing not as much as you should. But it's a take, not a give society. I think there's a certain arrogance that rubs people the wrong way as well. So,
Hoorah! But still, that little bits of like hoorah, yay, America, it scares me, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Probably not. No, the way that it is now, they just need to get rid of Donald Trump. He's just stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it too much, but he's just a massive idiot. And there's no point going over there. It's hard enough for them as it is to add more of us, even if it's just for a short time.
I saw a video early this morning. It showed a guy, and it was just horrific scene. Just the way they go about the whole situation is just morally wrong. I feel like America, everything is just extreme.
Good point. Everything's extreme. Everything's bigger. Everything's kind of crazy right now. I've seen videos recently, and when people say ICE is operating basically as a secret police force arm of Donald Trump himself, they're not far off. I've seen videos of them just approaching people because, looks at notes, they're not white. Basically, just approaching people. There's a dude pumping gas at the gas station, and these ICE officers approach. There's videos. There's numerous videos like this. ICE officers approach and ask to see his proof of citizenship, as if people just carry that around. If you're a brown person, oh, I better carry my citizenship papers. I might get stopped by the Gestapo. Oh, yeah. Great place to live. Land of the free.
Nothing. It feels like GTA. There's always something going on. School shooting, this and that. It's just extreme, and it's just. I got cousins there, and they tell me everything. It just doesn't appeal me to go over there at the moment.
How do your cousins feel at the minute?
He just says he just stay home. Really, doesn't go places that he doesn't need to go to. That's literally one way of avoiding all conflict, because it's literally everywhere.
I'd go for the World Cup. Like, if I got tickets, yeah, I would. If it's the World Cup, then yeah, anything else. I feel like when the World Cup isn't on, there'll be a lot of political conflict going on, but I wouldn't know.
Even from just a wider thing, never mind just rights, initially it was like a cost point of view. It wasn't for the fans, and obviously World Cup's a big thing with fans. But when it comes to rights, they're basically just making regular people seem, I don't know, demonic, or just shunning regular people. I think they even did like a ban list of like 70 or so countries. A lot of those are actually in the World Cup, like Brazil, etc. They can't go now. Senegal, they just won AFCON. They can't now go to the World Cup. So yeah, they're treating people like cattle.
Fuck, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's one of Trump's main. I mean, that's a hallmark of just fascism in general. Outside looking, you can look at the Trump thing however you want, but the xenophobia, the scapegoating of certain groups, right? Scapegoating of immigrants, which is a constant propaganda point for the Republicans. It's rallying and galvanizing their base and getting them all riled up that the immigrants are coming in and committing all the crimes and taking their jobs and doing all this thing. Well, really, it's American citizens that are doing more crime than immigrants. Usually immigrants really want to stay in that country. So per capita, I mean, I'd have to look at the stats, but I'm kind of talking some BS maybe, but still, I would think the way that the right paints it isn't necessarily true about immigrants doing all of this crime. And we have to remember too, videos like this and the internet, they do not give you the full picture of what life is like anywhere. So it's often very negative, you know. If it bleeds, it leads, right? Especially when it comes to news. It's going to be the negative stuff. We're never seeing positive stuff. Positive stuff doesn't sell. Positive stuff isn't good for the community. But at a community level, like where I live, and granted, I live in a smaller town, quite a number of hours away from Vancouver, British Columbia, and I live on Vancouver Island. But my community at that level, it's wonderful. So if you just stay away from social media, get rid of your social media accounts, stop supporting these tech oligarchs. There's no reason that we have to use these companies. I'm posting a video on YouTube now, but is there alternatives? Maybe. But at least we can use the platform while we can to speak out against it a little bit. But Meta, like, there's no reason we all need to be on Instagram all the time. It's sucking up our time. I think YouTube has some merit for longer form content and conversations. I think the platforms that have such micro, short attention span content are ultimately detrimental for upcoming generations. And we only have the first generations now coming into adulthood that have really grown up in a hyper social media world where they're getting all of this negative input, negative information, negative news on a constant feed. So think about the long-term effects, potential anxieties that can be absorbed by absorbing all of that information constantly. Whereas I was probably the last group of kids that grew up where we didn't have cell phones yet. You know, if we were using the internet, it was like at school, or we had one family computer to like download music and go on Napster, right? And like there was no social media yet. We might have like a MySpace page, or, you know, we made a Facebook account, but we didn't really check it very often. You had to log into it every time. So I think things have changed. But all that said, it's a beautiful sunny day. I went for a nice run, and I'm running by people, saying hi, chatting to people that I know within my community, seeing people, conversing, going out for coffees, and participating. So painting a negative picture, I think it's bad. But going to the States, no. I'm just rambling a lot in this video. So hope y'all are still with me.
It's absolutely gut-wrenching, and
Gut-wrenching.
yes, it adds to the danger. It adds to the reality of what can happen to someone, and the fact that we've got armed civilians essentially feeling very entitled and feeling very empowered to take that step to take someone's life is absolutely terrifying. And like, you have no rights, there's no laws to protect you.
Calling it a war, and it literally is. Like, people are comparing it to when like the Nazis invaded Russia in the winter, and they're like, oh, you know, you're invading people in winter, and I'm like, that's war language. And you're just talking about, you know, this occurrence in your county or like your city. And yeah, like, it's a full-blown war. Like, you can't be going into that active war zone and think it's going to be like peachy keen because you're a tourist. Like, it's not.
I think
and that's the thing. Trump essentially runs his administration like a mafia boss, right? He uses all the arms at his disposal to kind of go after people, which is another hallmark of fascism, weaponizing those things that he has access to, and really delegitimizing any sort of media that's negative of him, scapegoating people, that ultra-nationalist America first and screw everybody else. We're just gonna go scorched earth and you know, bugger everybody else. Ultra-military, you know, the amount of they spend on their military is insane. So and a autocratic wannabe dictator in Trump. Like you have it's all there. It's all there. But Trump is just a symptom, right? Trump is like that because of America, not the other way around.
Events that have happened recently with ICE, and there are people seemingly being murdered in the streets by people who are, in theory, law
Not
enforcement
seemingly,
officers.
they
would
are.
certainly give me real
They
pause
got
for
murdered
thought.
in the
As
streets.
an outsider, as a complete outsider, it seems that part of the issue is American politics and society.
But the bootlickers, they just say, comply. If they had just complied.
It seems so fractured now, and it almost becomes like you're either this camp or this camp. And a bit like we said at the beginning, there's nobody actually talking to each other across the middle. Yeah. And that can't be a good thing, I don't think.
I feel like it's like it shouldn't be like, you know, the way people are, the way people look. People shouldn't be justified on what they look like I said. But then I feel like that should change. I feel like if that changes, then that ICE thing, like getting people who are coming in illegally, I don't mind that. Like getting rid of the people who come in illegally shouldn't be there. That's fine. But then like racially profiling people who look Hispanic.
Yeah, he's got a point. And listen, Obama, every president, Democrat, Republican, they've deported millions, likely, anyways. So it's just, I think, the way optically and the way organizationally Trump has gone about it, and his expansion of ICE, you know, quickly hiring so many of them. And they look like thugs. They just wear random clothing. How can you even know that they're a real officer or a real, you know, agent? And then sending them in a very militarized way just into cities and doing raids and just going after people. And look, I'm sure they're deporting some bad guys, but they also killed 2 Americans.
And Arab or, you know, whatever they look like, African, I feel like that's wrong.
How do you feel in terms of Trump in general?
Honestly, Margaret Atwood is just sitting there rubbing her hands, being like, Handmaid's Tale's come to
But
life.
what?
Like,
No, but
I'm
what
a genius.
Monumental piece of shit.
Oh
Yeah, they want to control women's bodies for sure.
my God.
No, but like one of the worst human beings on the planet, and you know, I feel like we could like look around on like the tram and be like, you would do a better job, you would do a better job. Literally the most unqualified person for the most important job in the world. Like, he is a rapist, a paedophile, and just ignorant and offensive and stupid, like really dumb.
Donald Trump just needs to retire, go off on his own and just leave everything.
Enjoy his golf courses.
I don't hate Trump. I don't hate him as a president. I just feel like with what's going on, I mean, it's been going on for years, so it's not something new for me. Like, I'm not surprised with what's going on. And his political agenda with what's going on in America, it's been going on for years. So I wouldn't say that it's Trump's fault or anything, but Barack Obama did the same, like Joe Biden did the same thing. So
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. Trump will keep going on his diet of Big Macs and Diet Coke.
I feel like Donald Trump isn't a bad president, but I feel like there's a lot going on with conflict of interest between political parties.
Yeah, I just say it just looks purely about power, division, chaos. It's not actually to serve any people. I don't think anyone's actually winning, in inverted commas, and I know he said people get tired of winning or something, that was his quote. But right now,
We're gonna
it's just
tariff
about himself, I believe.
the tariffs.
He's even making a lot of money off it. I think someone's pointed out a lot of oil money has been siphoned from Venezuela, etc. So I think the only losers right now, the American people. It depends how the Greenland situation goes, if the world's going to suffer from this. But yeah, I think it's a turning point in world politics. I think we'll look back in a few decades and we'll see, is this the fall of America, or did they recover? Is there a U-turn? But yeah, and I think we've got to judge our own situation based off them and not fall for the same tactics and lies.
I'm going to sound like the president now. But I do believe in the American people. No, but I genuinely do. Like,
She's a stan.
some of the best people that I've ever met are American, and I do believe that people will be looking around and being like, this is not America. This is not what we fought for. This is not what we believe in, and things do need to change. And I think the people will take back some power, because even like the diehard Trump supporters recently have been like, you are incoherent and we can't back this
Like
anymore.
I think
they're
honestly
still
it could go
backing
into
him.
like full on like riots. I think there could be a lot of like political unrest. I think you've got really strong celebrity spokespeople also rallying people up. Any kind of, I feel like Americans really respond to sort of quite visceral occurrences. So like if there is like a murder or like something that's very
They'll
pivotal,
kick
that
off.
typically causes their civil unrest. Like they're like
We should be kicking off too, though.
Yeah, like Black Lives Matter
around
was
the
around a death,
world,
like all of that
we
kind
should
of
be
stuff.
kicking off about this because it is an invasion of our human rights and our liberty and our right to remain alive. If we disagree with someone, how it will progress, I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting if they move into more outspoken cities like Philadelphia or New York. Like if they are moving into I think there will be like a clash. I think people will fight back. They are doing in Minnesota, but I feel like if you're going to go into very like politically charged places, that would be like a real test. And I think people will step up.
I think federal law is going to slip, and it's going to like
I hope there can be like some sort of cooling and bipartisan efforts to chill the situation in the States, because it just seems like a bit of a powder keg of sorts for the last 8 to 10 years. So
it's state dominion, and you are going to be so like the haves and haves nots depending on the state kind of swaying, and they're putting in legislations to protect certain states, and it's the more divisive that gets, the more the little person is hurt because they just can't pick up and move if that state isn't agreeable to them or their lifestyle. And like just always the bottom layer is going to suffer the most.
I think with Trump too, he's got Hegseth in there as his Secretary of War. Dude is insane, you know, associating and aligning themselves with Christian fundamentalists. Basically, the type of guys that are like from A Handmaid's Tale, you know, the type of guys that literally think women shouldn't be allowed to vote, and that men should be the provider, and, you know, the wife and the kids and everybody else, they do everything at the home, do the laundry, and the husband's out working to provide. And literally, that dude, Hegseth had that dude at the Pentagon, I think, recently. Like a straight up crazy person. Anyways, see y'all in the next one. Interesting times, eh?